An insurance lawyer in Calgary is offering free advice to a Saskatchewan family facing massive bills after a medical emergency in Arizona.
He says it's a common issue and is urging travelers to use an insurance broker when buying coverage. He also says you don't necessarily have to take no for an answer if a claim is denied.
Insurance companies would love nothing more than people simply walking away and giving up. Now, in some instances, insurance companies are correct in their denials, but in other circumstances, and I can tell you this is from experience, dealing with disability claims, house insurance claims, travel insurance claims, many times insurance companies are not correct in their denials.
We're learning more about, Louis Lamothe's family says they owe hundreds of thousands of dollars after he suffered a stroke in Arizona last month. They say Saskatchewan Blue Cross denied their claim due to a discrepancy in the dosage of a cholesterol pill. In a statement to CTV, Saskatchewan Blue Cross said it's confident in its handling of the Lamothe claim overall, adding, as a non-profit insurer, it's a top priority to pay valid claims.
So unfortunately, this is not uncommon, and I say that in the context of people who are contacting me all the time asking for advice when they are denied these kinds of claims, and any insurance claims really for that matter. Now, insurance companies, when they issue these kinds of contracts, there are a lot of stipulations and provisions in there. And when people fill those out, either with the help of a broker or by themselves, they do it to the best of their ability, and they do it as truthfully, generally speaking, as possible. But here's the catch. It's not about how truthful you think you are, it's about how accurate your answers are. And what insurance companies say in these situations, whenever there is a claim made, and by the way, keep in mind, most of these insurance companies don't do any homework at the beginning, right? They don't check the accuracy of these answers. They simply look at these answers and then compare them to the medical documents once a claim is actually made, just like in this case. And oftentimes when they find a discrepancy, then they match that up against the answer. And if they can find a reason that they believe gives them an out, i.e. not to pay, then they will do that, hoping, of course, that people will not resist that. And in terms of what people can do, so there's a few things that I tell people that they need to do. First of all, when you're getting travel insurance, if at all possible, do it through a broker. If you're going to do it through an insurance broker, and there are insurance brokers who deal with travel insurance claims, they'll be able to guide you. Remember, they're licensed, they are knowledgeable when it comes to insurance products. And frankly, if anything goes wrong, at the end of the day, the broker may be liable. Their insurance company may end up having to actually respond to the claim. So going through a broker adds an extra layer of protection. So I always recommend going through a broker. Secondly, and this goes back to what I said earlier, read the questions very, very carefully. And don't focus so much on answering as truthfully as you can, but as accurately as you can. That means that if you have to speak to your doctor or your pharmacist or whoever it is, your spouse, if they handle your medications, make sure that the answers are as accurate as possible. Don't give the insurance company ammunition to use against you down the road if the worst happens. And the last thing that I will say, and this is the case in this situation here, and by the way, I reached out to the family because I've offered them pro bono just to look at everything. And in fact, just before our call here, I've been in touch with the granddaughter who sent me some documentation, which I will review. Don't assume, don't take for granted that when the insurance company denies your claim, then there are no legal avenues. Insurance companies would love nothing more than people simply walking away and giving up. Now, in some instances, insurance companies are correct in their denials, but in other circumstances, and I can tell you this is from experience, dealing with disability claims, house insurance claims, travel insurance claims, many times insurance companies are not correct in their denials. And so you need to get the proper legal advice. And once you've gotten that legal advice, and by the way, it's just like getting medical advice. Sometimes you need a second and a third opinion. Once you've exhausted all of these avenues, at that point, you'll know what your options are.